Today is an introduction to texture nodes, procedural textures, all of it's really nice stuff. So let's dive right in. So let's make a copper ball to start with. So let's delete the default cube and we can add an echo sphere and then we can crank up. Let's do about 6 or so I like to do, and then shade it smooth. And then you can press GZ1 and then you're on the ground pen. I like to do that. Now we can go over to the shading tab and press the little new button. It already looks pretty complicated, but this is a quick breakdown. So this is the material output, so it's where the material goes on to the ball, and this is a principled BSDF, which is the default texture, the default shader in Blender. So we're gonna use it for now because you can also add a lot more like these. We're gonna use the principled BSDF because it has just about everything. So what we might want to do to make copper is add a noise texture. Then so if we plug the factor into the base color, you can already see that it has some noise. You can turn up the detail and then it looks much better, and you can also change the roughness, but it's still not a copper color and it doesn't have high enough contrast. So what I like to do is add a color ramp. There's some substitutes, but color ramps are my favorite. So you can already see a big difference when you move these little sliders, and you can basically control the contrast and just the way everything looks. So you can adjust the parameters, and soon you'll get kind of a copper light texture. So what you do need to make it in oranges, make sure that you have the white selected, and then you can find a extremely exaggerated copper kind of look, and then you can turn down the saturation just a little until it looks good. So you can also just change it around, and then pretty soon you'll have something that looks good. So next we'll want to change to roughness so that it actually looks real. Let's turn up the metallic, and it's already much better. It looks really good. And so we can duplicate the color ramp or just go ahead and add a new one. I meant to add a color. And then you can plug the factor into that one as well. And then you can plug the color into the roughness. And look, it's already looking much better. See, it's shiny in some places and rough in others. So this kind of adjusts the contrast. So you can change it until you have a really nice copper texture. You can even reverse these. And pretty soon you'll have something that looks like this. That's really good. Let's turn on bloom since it's EB. And turn up the intensity and turn down the radius a little. And now you can kind of see it reflecting off, it looks really beautiful. So we could also take this a step further and add a normal. So we could just go to vector and do a bump, duplicate the color ramp for the roughness, then plug the factor into that one too. You might need to zoom out using the mouse wheel, and then you can plug the color into the height. Then plug the normal into the normal on the principled BSDF. And make sure it's on the height, or else it's not going to work. I had been on the distance, and that's why it wasn't working. And interesting detail, but still not great. So you can change the distance to control how deep it's going to look. Like I want something very small. So you can also control this to control where it shows the bumps. So you might not always want to use this, but it's really good for some things. So it's still not that great, so you might want to turn down the distance to like 0.001 or so. But that's a little too little, so it's just basically a matter of changing things around. And now they have a pretty desirable distance, it actually looks pretty darn good. So that is just copper. But I didn't say you couldn't make 2 million other things. Like you can make cakes, you can make shiny sidewalks, you can make so many things using procedural textures, and it's really amazing. You could turn this into a cake pretty quickly if you wanted to, or stuff like that. And okay, you could even just turn this into the globe by changing the black to maybe a bluish color, a light blue, and then you change the orange to a green, and then you adjust it until you get some good contrast there. And look, it's Earth, it's Earth. Isn't that just awesome? And okay, and then if you want to add clouds, you basically like duplicate the noise texture, and then you add a like a mix RGB. Then you set then you make another color amp, and then you plug the factor in, and then you plug the color into the factor, and almost there. But you might want to change it. You can already see a bit of clouds, but you need you just need a lot of contrast there. But there are some clouds. They're bad clouds, but if you turn down the metallic, it's probably gonna look a lot better. And look, there you have it. It's Earth. You have an Earth, but that's a pretty I didn't put much work into it, so it's not gonna look great. But once you start, you're gonna keep on going, and you're gonna get addicted to it, and then you'll enjoy doing it so much that you just do it 24/7 almost. It's that kind of thing. So it's really, once you learn how, it's really really fun. The detail bit, I could keep on going for a long time with that, but that is the art of procedural textures. You can make water and so many other things. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe, because procedural textures are fun. Try it yourself. If you had luck, if you had trouble, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.